Baker with Baker DMM. This is our video digest newsletter. Topic of today's newsletter is going to be medical, legal, and now accounting. And before I jump into our discussion, I want to read you some information. It states that in 2010, the medical community was enlisted by the Investor Protection Trust to combat the financial defrauding of the elderly. According to a report in the Herald Tribune, the trust was successful in enlisting almost 8,000 medical professionals in 32 different states. These professionals were given training on how to identify if their elderly patients were the victims of financial fraud, and also how to provide support. Now, in an effort to expand awareness of this problem and to combat it, the Investor Protection Trust has turned its attention to the American Bar Association, enlisting lawyers across the country in the fight against the financial defrauding of the elderly. And I thought it was a great segue into talking about how Baker DMM helps our clients and really why we're here and why we exist. And regarding the topic of financial fraud and elder abuse, I mean, it's such a huge problem. It's an under the radar problem. And so many of us in the community need to come together to help protect these individuals. We even made a video, I think, about the senior ecosystem. So if you go through our videos, you can watch that video as well. But namely, as identified in this information from the Herald Tribune, and by the way, the Herald Tribune's a newspaper in Florida, I think in the Sarasota, Nokomis, Laurelwood area. And the article was in 2014 and specifically talking about medical professionals. And I think that's a no-brainer, because whenever we have problems with our physical health, we have to go to a doctor. And doctors could very well be able to tell if somebody has a physical and or a cognitive impairment, which would potentially keep them from being able to manage their day-to-day finances, and be able to make good decisions regarding their financial health. Although the doctor doesn't necessarily get in the details, they're not usually, I would say, advising them on what to do with their money. They would be able to know, okay, this person just isn't going to be able to make decisions on their own. And then, of course, we have elder care attorneys, and lawyers in general, estate attorneys, trust attorneys. These people, they're typically dealing with, the legal documents and what we do to protect, our legal and financial worlds. And typically the three key core documents that people are going to have are going to be a will, which comes into effect after you pass away, a durable financial power of attorney, durable and or financial power of attorney, which is going to be a document that exists if you become incapacitated and you're no longer to make financial decisions on your own. You would have that power of attorney in place so that whoever you designate could step in and make decisions for you to keep your financial world moving and going and not stalling if you're unable to make decisions. And then, of course, the last one is your advanced healthcare directive, which is for if you ever become incapacitated and you need someone to make decisions about your physical health. So those are the three just basic key documents that you need. But again, even if attorneys, lawyers, elder care attorneys, even if their main focus is more on the traditional legal side, they're typically not going to probably advise so much on managing assets and investing and your daily money management, your day-to-day financial matters. They might be able to help you provide some strategies for trust and creating different entities and moving money around and maybe some tax savings. And really, what can you do to maximize the benefits, particularly government benefits, whether it's to you or your loved one? They can help with things like that, but they're not going to be actually investing your money or giving you financial advice, so to speak. Or typically, they're not going to be helping you manage your day-to-day finances. So where all this leads to is, like the title of the video, leading to accountants. And what are accountants typically known for? They're known as bookkeepers, bean counters. And what better group of people and professionals to help these elderly people than to do their personal bookkeeping for them and to be that extra set of eyes and ears and hands, helping these people monitor their financial position. And I've watched countless number of videos on YouTube, from the national level down to the local level, government videos, nonprofit videos, for-profit videos, academia videos. And it really just, I don't understand why that people haven't identified accountants, CPAs in the field of daily money management as more of a service that could be really used by elderly people and people with disabilities in a way to help these people do their daily tasks, their daily money management tasks, their bill paying, their mail review, their financial monitoring, in certain cases giving financial advice, helping with vendor management, acting as a power of attorney for these people that either physically or cognitively are unable to do either some of these things on their own or maybe even sometimes all of these things on their own. And many times these same individuals have their children helping them, their grandchildren helping them. And then with today's age and environment, a lot of times these kids and grandkids don't live near their parents anymore. We just took on a client the other day here in the Atlanta area, and the children, 3 children, all live out of state. Their mother's 93, and luckily she's in a great financial position, and she actually used to have a CPA. Now this gentleman's in his 60s, and he's dealing with his own family health crisis and issues. And so we were referred to this person by an elder care attorney, to the daughter, and now we're stepping in the shoes and kind of filling in where that CPA left off. And just having a daily money management firm, a financial services firm run by a professional, run by a CPA, an accountant, is an invaluable resource to the community and to these families. And just, as I said earlier, helping keep an eye on these people's finances, do their bookkeeping, monitor what's coming in and out. And that is truly the way that you're going to help prevent financial fraud and elder abuse. And the wonderful thing is, even if there is an instance, because you can't say that you're going to prevent every single instance of fraudulent behavior, because it comes from so many different angles. But if you're monitoring the accounts properly, if you're reviewing the personal financial statements and you're budgeting and you're reviewing these things and the accountant is doing their job, they're going to notice the variance, the anomaly, something unusual, and they're going to say, why is this happening? They're going to investigate it, and then they're going to be able to stop that unusual behavior, that unusual activity, and truly determine whether or not it's fraudulent. And if it is, figure out a way to stop it before it spirals out of control, and that person, that elderly person, that disabled person, before they lose all of their nest egg, all of their money, and they become destitute and are no longer able to be financially independent. So that hands down, having these people in place, daily money managers, accountants, CPAs, monitoring these finances are going to really, really help this problem. Much more so, we all have a role. The attorneys and the lawyers have a role. The doctors, we all have a role, and we're all important. And particularly with financial fraud and elder abuse, this is where accountants, CPAs really can jump in and help. So hopefully we can spread the word and get more awareness out in our communities. And if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out directly, and I'd be happy to answer them and try to help find a resource in your community. So if you found this video interesting or helpful, please feel free to share it with your social media channels. This could be your family or friends, or whoever you think might benefit from viewing the video. If you ever have a question you'd like for me to answer in one of our newsletters, go to our website, www.bakerdmm.com. Scroll at the bottom, fill out your name and information, write a few sentences, and I'll try to answer that in one of our upcoming newsletters. If you ever like to get my help personally directly, you can go to our website. At the top of the page, you'll find our phone number, as well as a request an appointment button. If you scroll to the bottom, there's also a section where you can book a direct phone consulting session via PayPal. Just click on the button, enter your information, and with all these options, I'll be in touch with you in 24 to 48 hours to confirm and schedule our appointment. And until then, I will talk to you soon.